I close my eyes and picture it, I can see myself as a 5-year-old girl surrounded by gift wrapping paper in my Nana's living room, lording over my Dirt Devil vacuum toy, my Easy Bake Oven, and Scooby Doo VHS tapes for my new VHS player. Thank you, Nana! Christmas is always at its most potent when you're younger / surrounded by family. So for this episode of I Love the 90s, I wanted to rewind to the biggest Christmas time events, toys, and crazes, taking it year by year. So grab some eggnog and get cozy. Wait, before you get cozy, if you celebrate Christmas, have you done your Christmas shopping yet? I love having my stocking filled with stuff that I actually use. One of my favorite things is smelling expensive, and that is why I love Scentbird for sending me a brand new bundle of 3 luxury perfumes to try. All right, this is Boho Boko Vanilla Black Pepper. No! Oh my God, it smells like exactly what I thought it would smell like, except 10 times better. Nutmeg, black pepper, vanilla, cedarwood, and white musk. Yo, this might be a new favorite. Hold on, let me smell it with my body chemistry. Let me see. I feel like I smell like, I know it has black pepper, but I feel like I smell like a sexy cake. Grown and sexy cake. Got Brown Girl Jane, Dare. I spoke too soon. Wait a second, hold on. Hey, I gotta go with the Brown Girl Jane, Dare. Oh my God. Juicy cherry, luscious lychee, pink peony, Italian leather, and amber woods. Scentbird, you did your big one with these. Thank you so much. I love playing around with scents and mixing them up, and I'm definitely gonna have fun with these too. If you also love smelling good or know someone in your life who appreciates a nice scent, with Scentbird, you can get a 30-day supply of over 600 premium perfumes and colognes. Instead of committing to a scent that you may not love and cost $300 to $500 a bottle, play around with new fragrances for just $17 a month. For those of you in the US and Canada, use my coupon code Intellectual55 for 55% off at Scentbird, meaning just a little over $7 for your first month. These bottles have actually lasted me longer than 30 days while still being small enough for my smallest purses. Don't miss out on this special deal for you or a loved one. For many Americans, 1990 wasn't the best for shopping due to the impending recession we discussed in episode 2 of Lexual Does the 90s. Reported the New York Times, as the number of shopping days left before Christmas dwindle, shoppers and vendors in New York and across the nation talk of spending less, hunting for bargains, cutting frills, and holding back on the holidays. Money this year is tight. Perhaps this was one of the reasons that there were so many Scrooges. Wrote James S. Henry in Why I Hate Christmas, The Grinch Has It Right. Almost a quarter of Christmas season sales are financed by credit cards or charge accounts, and January is the peak month for credit card delinquencies and reduces our flagging savings rate, now below 5% of national income. Christmas now accounts for 60% of the United States' annual $17 billion expenditure on toys and video games. And this year, we will consume $18 billion worth of alcohol, including 81 million gallons of hard liquor, 1.1 billion pounds of turkey, and a huge quantity of ham, cookies, pies, eggnog, stuffing, plum pudding, and other trimmings. Well, damn, Grinch, we can't have none of that. Others complained about the Christmas creep, citing that stores began pulling out Christmas displays in October of 1990, and this would be joked about in a 1999 episode of Daria.
The world's largest nativity scene in August? Atlanta Mall manager Gifford Jones.
Nativities mean Christmas, and Christmas means revenue. You don't have to be a wise man to figure that out.
The Savior went down to Georgia tonight on Sick Sad World.
Other critics, like Jewish people and the non-religious, would question the dominance of Christmas in America for the rest of the decade. Should Christmas be abolished as a national public holiday? Asked Richard Gagnon in the Deseret News in 1998, before answering in the affirmative.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. and a Happy New Year.
1990 was also the year that the popular Christmas film Home Alone released, which ended up grossing $467.7 million, making it the highest grossing live-action comedy at the time.
Cough is gone, I get some romance, la 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 la.
No, you're not, 'cause you're too ugly.
One of the biggest and for most highly anticipated events of the 1990s occurred on Christmas Day 1991 when Mikhail Gorbachev resigned as president of the Soviet Union. Shortly after his televised speech in which he declared the office extinct, the Soviet flag was lowered for the final time and replaced with the Russian flag. Everything USSR was legally dissolved the next day, and you can learn more about the ramifications of that in episode 1 of Lexual Does the 90s. For kids and teens who couldn't be bothered with foreign policy, the talk of Christmas was the highly coveted 8-bit Nintendo game system, which went for roughly $99.99 at Toys R Us. Games were $50 each, and if your parents were really balling, you'd beg for the deluxe Super Nintendo system, which was $199.99. Of course, if you were lusting after Sonic the Hedgehog, which was released this year, you need the Sega Genesis, which could be bundled together for like $150.
Jingle bells, Batman smelt, Robin laid an egg. The Batmobile lost the wheel, and the Joker got away.
Weinberger and 5 other Reagan aides involved in the highly illegal Iran-Contra scandal were given the gift of a pardon by President George Bush on Christmas Eve this year.
Some new reverberations today to President Bush's Christmas Eve surprise, the pardoning of former Defense Secretary Caspar Weinberger and several others in connection with the Iran-Contra allegations. Well, now the special prosecutor says it's the president that needs to explain some things.
Because people were still on a budget, traditional toys like board games were popular, but also troll dolls. Claimed the Associated Press, Santa will show up this season with familiar classic toys that won't require mortgaging the family sleigh. 1992 was also the year that the Home Alone sequel, Lost in New York, premiered. Child star Macaulay Culkin was paid $4.5 million plus 5% of the film's gross compared to $110,000 for the first movie. Donald Trump allowed the film to be shot in the Plaza Hotel, which he owned at the time, in exchange for a cameo. For kids who had seen it, a popular wish list item was the Talk Boy, a handheld voice recorder that could alter your voice.
This is Peter McAllister, the father.
Yes, sir.
I'd like a hotel room, please.
Yes.
With an extra large bed, a TV, and one of those little refrigerators you have to open with a key.
Yes, sir. You'll need a major credit card upon check-in.
Credit card? You got it.
A real version of the movie prop was created as a promotional tie-in and retailed for $24.99. Another movie from this year was the Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen special, To Grandmother's House We Go, featuring this racist scene that goes viral in the modern day every once in a while because it's so unbelievable.
Hey, did you just drop a chicken bone in my case?
There's still some meat on there.
Oh, okay.
The 90s were a different time, man. Like, oh my God. So also this year, a chapter of the Klan erected a cross in Cincinnati with a city permit based on religious freedom. Back in 1990, the city had banned Jewish people from erecting a menorah, citing it was a religious symbol, even though the city decorated with Christmas trees and lights. So the Jewish congregation got a federal court order to place a menorah, which they did in 1991 without incident. In 1992, the Klan placed their cross next to an 18-foot menorah, and 200 to 300 people protested. Said civil rights activist and Reverend Fred Shuttlesworth, somebody is bad off if they need the Klan to put Christ in Christmas. The cross was swiftly taken down by a 44-year-old named David Miller, who was arrested for disorderly conduct, and he told the news, "I just decided there's too many kids in this community. There's hundreds of thousands of kids in this community. They don't need something like this." 1992 is also the year that the first SMS text message was ever sent, event, and the message was, you guessed it, Merry Christmas, very early on December 3rd. Finally, the first Christmas in former USSR territories was a major deal, with Russia celebrating its first Christmas in 70 years. The Bolsheviks replaced crosses with hammers and sickles. Now they're being changed back, said the head of the Russian legislature's Committee on Religion.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. Come on. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in open soul wonderland.
Here, Merry Christmas to Miss Jerry. The sandwich is for you. Merry Christmas.
Tuna? I don't eat no damn tuna.
1993 was the first year in a while that most parents again had money. Parents fielded requests for Super Nintendos and the slightly more expensive Sega Genesis. And there were op-eds and reports about violence in edgy games like Street Fighter II and Mortal Kombat. Having more money was good for expensive toys like the American Girl doll, which surged in popularity this year after positive media coverage. Wrote one happy columnist, more and more parents are looking at Barbie and seeing their little girls becoming Barbie, a cheap tart in neon spandex pants and high heels, driving around in a pink Corvette for the rest of her life with her dyed hair floating in the breeze, the neutered Ken at her side. They see girls on television looking and acting like prepubescent bimbos, and they read all the statistics about sexual activity, substance abuse, and rebellion starting earlier and earlier. The American Girl dolls, on the other hand, appeal to daughters and parents who don't want to be pushed prematurely into adolescence. The $80 to $100 dolls and accompanying books explored girlhood from different historical perspectives while hawking a bunch of pricey merchandise in the process. The first black doll, Addie Walker, was introduced in 1993, wrote Megan Rosenfield. While the other girls face such traumas as wild bears, sailing during a storm, or even choosing between loyalty to the Crown of England or the Patriots of the new colonies, none can really compete with watching your brother being whipped by a cruel overseer because he done run off. Addie's most popular accessories included school supplies, a Christmas outfit to match her Christmas book, and a sweet potato pudding kit. Next, the quintessential office Christmas party was reportedly going through changes in the 90s. Reported one columnist in 1993, "You might remember the way it used to be. Typically, they were held at a fancy hotel or restaurant, and often during the workday. The spouses were discouraged from attending. No one would even think about bringing their kids. Alcohol was everywhere. There's the guy who's dressed as Santa Claus and asked a female subordinate to sit on his knee." There were multiple reports of office Christmas parties being troublesome and possible HR disasters, with well-meaning columnists offering advice on party etiquette. And you gotta remember, this is in the shadow of sexual harassment being taken more seriously. Experts warn people to not over-imbibe at holiday parties and destroy their reputations, saying the 90s had brought in a new conservatism. The Chicago Tribune reported that parties were evolving with less extravagance, getting families involved, and having non-alcoholic beverages on hand. It said, "They're not saying bah humbug, they're saying let's have a very respectful celebration."
They sell it for triple the cost.
But I want a racing car set.
Oh, don't you see, kid? You're being bamboozled. These capitalist fat cats are inflating the profit margin and reducing your total number of toys.
Hey, this guy's a commie! Hey!
Toys R Us manager commented on the continuing popularity of Power Rangers, saying, "At this point in time, there isn't a line that can give Power Rangers any real competition. Anything associated with Power Rangers this year, from pencils to stickers to toys, is gonna move." And for adults, a popular Christmas gift in 1994 were George Foreman grills. Also in 1994, Mariah Carey released her fourth studio album, Merry Christmas.
I don't look at it as competing, I look at it as more of me giving my little contribution to the world of Christmas songs, and hopefully my fans will enjoy them, and it'll be something for me to sing during the holidays, because I'm totally the hugest Christmas fanatic there is. My whole life I've always been really festive and really into the holidays. My mom always made the holidays like, a great time of year for me and really special. So it was just, that was why I did this album.
The album's genre was unexpected and it featured the smash mega hit, and I don't even have to say the name. I feel like everybody in here already know this. All I Want for Christmas Is You, baby. I can't sing like Mariah. The song didn't actually chart at #1 until 2019, which shows its longevity, but every Christmas since 1994, the song has been ubiquitous. It has earned Mariah Carey an estimated $80 million alone in royalties, and the song's timeless composition made it a worldwide hit, with a Scottish reviewer writing, "Bing Crosby may well be turning in his grave, but no child of the 1980s will be surprised to see Mariah Carey's sublime All I Want for Christmas Is You bounding up the charts after being named the nation's top festive song." Also in 1994, the year I was born, and thus celebrated my first Christmas, my favorite Christmas movie, The Santa Claus, also premiered. Bill Murray and Chevy Chase both turned down the role of Scott Calvin, aka Santa Claus, which went to Tim Allen. By the way, there was a line in the movie where Scott says 1-800-SPANK-ME, and after a kid in Washington called the number, which was an actual phone sex line, and racked up a $400 bill, the line was removed from VHS tapes after 1999. The world changed in 1995, baby. The PlayStation launched. PlayStation supremacy over Xbox and everything else, boo.
As spokesperson for SAPS, the Society Against PlayStation, I'd like to talk to you about a menace threatening humanity. It's happening right here, in our very homes, and corrupting the lives of our loved ones. Yes, friends, I'm talking about this. It may look like a harmless bagel toaster, but inside is a deadly donut.
And its super cool marketing campaign aimed at teenagers made it a highly coveted Christmas gift, although it was $299, which is roughly $605 today. On December 21st, 1995, John Boehner, a Republican and protege of Newt Gingrich, announced he was giving Clinton a box of coal during a press conference before the government shutdown. The shutdown made holiday budgets especially tight for the thousands of people furloughed from their government jobs. Also, while it's not a full Christmas movie, the last 2 minutes of Jumanji are totally Christmas and thus warrants a mention on this list. Lastly, in 1995, Trey Parker and Matt Stone collabed on The Spirit of Christmas, a 5-minute short film featuring Santa and Jesus battling each other for dominance.
We meet again, Jesus.
You have blemished the meaning of Christmas for the last time, Kringle.
I bring happiness and love to children all over the world.
Christmas is for celebrating my birth.
Christmas is for giving.
The movie, of course, became the basis of South Park, which debuted in 1997.
It's new Tickle Me Elmo. Your child tickles Elmo and he talks.
That tickles.
And laughs.
Nobody really cared about the $30 Tickle Me Elmo dolls until Rosie O Donnell featured one on her show in early October 1996. Within 2 months, it became highly sought after, with scalpers reselling them for as high as $1,500.
This may very well be the last Tickle Me Elmo to be found in the Bay Area, but he's already sold, and when we brought him out into the store, we caused a near riot.
I've been looking everywhere for this, everywhere.
But you can't have this one, it's the last one.
Oh, well,
now let go.
Oh,
gotta
let
fight
go. Over Elmo?
My wife's due in 3 weeks, and she says I have to find a Tickle Me Elmo, and it's not even born yet, so.
Is it hard to find?
You can't find it in Montana. I'm from Montana, so
can't find it in San Francisco.
Not so far.
Rumors of scarcity and crowds at Black Friday sales caused more demand. In Chicago in early December, 2 women were arrested for fighting over the last doll in a store. At a Midnight Madness sale at a New Brunswick, Canada Walmart, there was a stampede of 300 people looking for the toys. An employee endured a pulled hamstring, injuries to his back, jaw, and knee, a broken rib, and a concussion.
Somebody in the crowd yelled, "There's the Elmos," and they rushed us.
Or check out your local paper.
It's probably crammed with ads from Elmo profiteers.
Sunday, last week.
This Montreal woman had an offer of $330. She's holding out for $500.
Local radio hosts use Elmo for publicity.
Santa Barbara, radio station KHTY DJ Hal Abrams held the Sesame Street character hostage while crowds gathered around chanting "Shred Him." But the station was flooded with faxes and phone calls to save Elmo. And in the end, Santa came to the rescue and Elmo was spared. The doll was donated to the pediatrics ward of Cottage Hospital.
Elmo has about 3 feet to go. He's centered exactly. He's got 1 foot away from certain
In Southfield, Michigan, where Elmo was facing a similar fate, he didn't fare so well. DJs there figured the best way for everybody to get an Elmo for the holidays was to divvy him up, so they put him through the shredder. Then they collected the pieces in a small coffin and passed them out to the crowd.
This guy's a commie!
There were even false rumors swirling that mob boss John Gotti Jr., son of the imprisoned John Gotti, had purchased a case of them during a shopping session at a Toys R Us in Queens, New York. 1 million Tickle Me Elmos were sold by the end of the holiday season, and Sesame Street saw a resurgence in popularity.
These guys are looking for a Turbo Man?
A gentleman dog, yes.
They're looking for Turbo Man.
Hey, everybody! These two are looking for a Turbo Man!
The Christmas craze of toys like Tickle Me Elmo was parodied in the 1996 film Jingle All The Way, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad as two dads going head-to-head for a Turbo Man action figure.
Hey! Back up! This is a homemade explosive device, and I'll blow it up. You know why? Because I work for the post office, so you know I'm not stable. Tell them.
This man is totally insane.
I hate this movie, but I had to add that clip in there because we definitely talk about postal workers and violence in episode 6 of Lexual Does the 80s and 90s. So the most watched episode of Oprah every year, beginning in 1996 until 2010, was her Favorite Things segment. A senior member of her staff had gifted her a pair of cozy pajamas. Explained her creative director, she loved them so much she bought them for the whole staff. And then she decided she wanted to gift them to her entire audience. As the years went by, Oprah's favorites catapulted small businesses into the stratosphere with mega sales. From Garrett's Popcorn to Ugg boots to Spanx, Oprah promoted it. The best part was that lucky audience members left with every favorite item. And her most famous Favorite Things segment was in 2004, of course, when she gave away Pontiac G6 sedans to all 276 people in the audience. Lastly, 1996 was the year of the Jon Benet Ramsey murder, which occurred sometime on Christmas Day in Boulder, Colorado, and the murder was never solved.
Special eggnog! Yeah. There you are.
This is really good. Have you guys ever tried hot mulled cider?
No. Nah, we're an eggnog family. Well, we could have both, huh? How? How could we have both?
Well, if it isn't Tamagotchi, her new favorite pet.
Yes.
So what's that make me? Fish sticks?
Oh, are you hungry?
Oh, no. By all means, feed it. Play till your heart's content.
Look, Goldie. I took good care of her, and she changed again.
Change? How about changing some water here?
The Tamagotchi digital pets were huge this year, but if they went out of stock or were too expensive, there were the knockoff Giga Pets. Both were compared to the pointless pet rock of the 1970s, but the toys cleared $1 billion in sales in the first year. You know how every year TBS and TNT does a 24-hour marathon of A Christmas Story? Well, that tradition originated in 1997. 30 to 50 million people tune in to watch at some point every year, including me, because my favorite part is when Ralphie snaps and beats Scott Farkus's ass. You know Scott Farkus with the yellow eyes?
With his yellow eyes. He had yellow eyes, so help me God, yellow eyes.
His laugh cracks me the fuck up every time. And please look at this. Ralphie's mom ain't even check on the kid as he laid defeated in the snow. He just got his ass beat and she just said, come on, Ralphie. Come on, Ralphie. This movie's a classic. I understand why it's on 24 hours every year. Yo, put your eye out. Also in 1997, Fidel Castro officially declared Christmas a national holiday for the first time since 1969. Ever since restrictions on religion have been lifted in 1991, more Cubans have been celebrating the holiday.
What you doing there, Bill? Satellite dish trouble?
No, I'm just up here to kill myself.
What?
The idea of teaching a toy bird the ability to speak English was the appeal of Furbies, which ruled the holiday season in 1998. They retailed for $35 but could be found in newspapers and online for hundreds of dollars. On December 19th of 1998, conservatives got a major present when Bill Clinton was impeached for lying about his sexual conduct under oath.
Why is everybody using these tiny little lights nowadays? I remember when people used to use big lights.
That's a good story, Grandpa.
Pokemon was massively huge in 1999. Everything from trading cards to toys to the first movie. For Americans who were scared shitless by the potential disaster of Y2K, in which computers would crash and plunge the world into chaos at the stroke of the new millennium, Christmas '99 came with more anxiety than usual.
Nothing else to do today but worry about Y2K, soaking in a bubble bath with 15 days to go.
Speaking of, while e-shopping had been growing since 1995, the end of the decade saw the most online shopping thus far. This year, Amazon debuted its wishlist feature, with Jeff Bezos claiming, "I like to type in a random name, say Smith in New York, and buy them a little something off of their list. It's more fun than feeding parking meters." That was from an article detailing the mountains of money Amazon was spending to outrank its competitors after sloppy Christmas shipping from 96 to 98. The article ended, "There's only this Christmas and maybe a few more to find out just how big Amazon.com can be." And boy, didn't we all find out. Some companies couldn't keep up with the pressure of the '99 holiday season. Toys R Us mailed out 62 million catalogs in November, offering free shipping for orders from its website. It was the 5th visited online store in December, with 1.6 million visitors in 1 week. But the company couldn't fulfill 5% of its orders and sent people $100 gift certificates to make up for it. Lastly, the Christmas season was slightly impacted in Seattle by protests and riots against the World Trade Organization. $10 million of lost revenue, plus the $2 million they're saying that was in property damage, is a big chunk out of their holiday cheer, said one anarchist. You'll learn more about the WTO and the protests in Seattle in episodes 1 and 2 of Lexual Does the 90s. That's it for this episode of I Love the 90s. What's your favorite memory of Christmas in this decade? Make sure to leave a comment below. If you enjoyed this video and you can't wait for the full Lexual Does the 90s series, consider becoming a patron for as low as $1 a month. You get early access to content, sources, and more. The link is in my description box. Also in that box is my Scentbird link. Thanks again, Scentbird, for the sponsorship. Thanks for watching this video, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.